All right, here we go, guys. Jasmine Crockett, the woman of the people. She said some egregious things. Some that every American who actually pay taxes thinks a big problem with it. It's coming. You know what it is. What you talk about at $5,000. You know what we're talking about. But we're gonna see. Let's go.
Democratic Congresswoman and member of the House Oversight Committee on Doge, Jasmine Crockett. For more, Congresswoman, thank you so much for coming on. I know you voiced concerns about Elon Musk's influence within the current administration. Supporters say he brings innovative leadership and efficiency to the government, and the White House says he's not in charge of Doge, he's an advisor to the president. So what's your response to that, and what are the Oversight Committee's top priorities right now?
Yeah, so oversight, the purpose of the Oversight Committee is to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. And right now, we've not heard from Elon Musk nor anyone else that works for Doge. So it's interesting that prior to, it was a matter of Elon Musk is the one that's
But she just lied a while ago. They've been getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Yeah, when they're sending condoms down to Gaza, like what's going on there? That's a bunch of crap. She just said right there. Nobody believes that. Nobody not believe that. Nobody. I run it.
running Doge. He is the one that is shutting off funds. He's the one that's committing basically a lot of constitutional as well as legal issues as it relates to our monies and what we do in Congress. But now they're saying, no, he's just there to advise. And in an advisory capacity, the president can have whoever he wants advising. The problem is that no one has come before my subcommittee or any other.
Y'all ain't doing your jobs. That's why they ain't come around y'all. You not doing your jobs. You're not doing no job. One of it do some things and they don't do it. I own not a waste, fraud, and abuse.
Committee in Congress to talk about their proposals. Instead, they post proposals on social media or they claim to have found waste, fraud, or abuse. And we know that the vast majority of waste, fraud, or abuse exists within the Defense Department. And yet there's not been any conversations yet whatsoever about the fact that the Defense Department has failed to pass an audit in at least the last 6 audits.
You're also calling on Musk to appear before Congress. Why? What do you want to ask him?
Well, first of all, I want to ask him what exactly has he been doing? Who is it that he's hired? Who is it that he's firing? How he's coming to the conclusions that he's coming to.
They're firing the people that are not doing their jobs. Do you know how much money we pay for taxes and I get no money back? So what? These people waste my money and they need to go.
What makes him believe that getting rid of our workforce, including those that are in charge of keeping our nuke situation safe or keeping planes from falling out of the sky? I want some analysis behind what it is that he is recommending to the president or to OPM or to anyone else that is engaging in what I feel like is more so a dismantling of our modern day democratic republic. And I want him to basically prove me wrong. I want to know that there is some end game that actually benefits the American people. And it's not just about lining his pockets, which we see as he recommended to turn off the spigot of money to everyone else. He ended up garnering himself an additional $400 million contract for Tesla and an additional.
First of all, that $400 million, who did that? That was Biden. He proposed that. That was not Trump. That was Biden. So let's get that one straight.
Over $300 million for SpaceX. And we know that the Republicans right now are proposing to raise the debt ceiling. Why do you need to raise the debt ceiling if somehow you are going about saving us a lot of money? And it is because of these tax cuts that they are also proposing that they are not talking about to the American people. And I want to make sure the American people have the full story.
Has Musk or anyone from the Trump administration responded to that request that you're making for him to come before Congress?
No, absolutely not. We actually did a motion to do a subpoena for Musk in the Oversight Committee, and the Republicans shut it down. Now, here's the deal. If everything that he is doing is above board and they have nothing to hide, then why wouldn't you want him to come out and testify? The idea that he can just post it on Twitter and that is enough is a farce. That is not how we operate.
All you guys do is waste money in these stupid little comedies and stuff. Like that not do nothing for nobody. Nothing. Nothing at all. All I know is talk. We're actually doing something now in the country. We're actually doing something in our government. All I want to do is waste money.
And at least when you come before Congress, there are consequences when you come before Congress if you are less than truthful. And that is the type of situation that we need him to be in.
Now, Musk campaigned with Trump, telling voters that he would cut government spending and reduce the deficit. Now they're conducting mass layoffs, and Doge's website claims it has saved an estimated $55 billion through fraud detection as well. So isn't this what the American people voted for?
Oh, absolutely not.
What? That's not what the American people voted for. So why did Trump win? He was saying this thing the whole time he was running for president. He's gonna cut fraud, waste, and abuse. He's gonna cut all that stuff. What do you mean they didn't vote? People didn't vote for that. The whole America voted for that. A majority of us did. Come on, look at look at the lies. You can see the lie in her.
Listen, when he was campaigning with Donald Trump, he was going around and jumping around on a stage. Now, I think that no matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, you want to know that we are being as efficient as possible with your tax dollars. And so I think that all American people are on board for this. This is why the Oversight Committee has always existed within the Congress. It is because we are supposed to be the watchdogs over the money. But this idea that if we get rid of USAID, that is going to fix our money woes is another farce. USAID takes up less than 1% of our entire budget. They don't want to talk about the other.
And they're wasting a lot of money. A lot of my money. And we're going to change that. They're wasting money. We get rid of them.
99%, or they're going out and they're saying that Medicaid, Medicare, that those things shouldn't exist. Now, the chairman of the Budget Committee says that they're going after Social Security next. Listen, I don't think that the American people signed up for a government that would say, we know that you have worked so hard for all these years and paid into a system, and now we're just going to say, oh, well, we don't have the money for you, so that the likes of Elon Musk or Bezos or Zuckerberg or all the billionaires that showed up to be there with him when he swore in, so that they could just save more money, and we end up carrying the load. We being the working people of America, we being the people.
You're the working people. You don't do nothing. All you do is sit around the comedy and yap your mouth all day. You don't do anything for us. That's right. Let's go. Let's go.
That are struggling paycheck to paycheck. We know that right now they literally just proposed legislation to get rid of what the Biden-Harris administration did around limiting those $5 or making sure that those that end up with overdraft fees don't exceed $5. They wanted to go back to $35 or however much people were charging. They're not doing anything to help the American people. Right now, our food costs are up because they've decided that they want to go after immigrants. They've decided that they don't want anyone to keep watch over what's going on with the bird flu. Listen, right now we are headed towards a recession, and I can tell you that not one person that voted, no matter if they were a Democrat or a Republican, asked for that. So this is something that is going to be on the Trump administration, and I'm just bracing right now.
Now, President Trump says he likes the
Fear mongering. That's all she do is fear monger. How about giving people some hope? All you do is fear monger.
idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the
He's telling a lie? Look how much money they saving us.
one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we...
First of all, he could have vetoed that bill. He had to sign it to make it into law for us to get that money. So what is she talking about? She don't know what she talking about. I should do a lie, a fearmonger. That's all she do.
want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not...
You mean that little vaccine that they gave people, that it was scared to tell people the side effects and are blocking people and all this stuff? Come on. Come on.
Only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
You don't know what $5,000 is going to do for me? It will change my life, I tell you that. And a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck and said $5,000 is going to help somebody? Where does woman live? In a palace or something? In a palace with gold bars as the toilet seat? Like, come on. What is she talking about? $5,000 is amazing for people right now. People living hand to mouth.
if you are unable to find a job, because I am telling people we are headed towards a recession because the United States government is the 15th largest employer in the world. And so firing those that work for the federal government.
Yes, fire them because they're not doing their jobs. They're not doing their jobs, so you fire them. It's simple. 1 + 1 = 2 is not 3 or 5.
Isn't going to necessarily create new jobs in private industry. In fact, Southwest Airlines, based in my district, just announced for the very first time in its entire existence that they are doing a layoff of approximately 15% of their workforce. If you pay attention, the signs are there, and I'm not telling you to be an alarmist. I'm telling you because I want to be honest with the American people, and my background, believe it or not, I was a business major, and none of this looks good for us right now.
And what that business major have gotten you? All you do is fearmonger and boost up yourself. Nobody cares if you have some business major. What's that doing for me? They ain't putting no money in my pocket. It's so out of touch. $5,000 are good for people. Out of touch. Out of sync with the American people.
And Congressman, I'm out of time, but really quickly, you say Elon Musk hasn't even shown up to subcommittee yet. So is the Oversight Committee actually having any oversight over Doge?
We absolutely are not. We have no documents from Doge. We have no employees of Doge. We have nothing. This is more so just a game so that they can have their MAGA darling, Marjorie Taylor Greene, oversee a committee, because it is my understanding that she now wants to pretend to be serious because she is looking to run for the United States Senate.
And what's the committee doing about that? Anything?
Well, we are trying to do what we can, but obviously we are in the minority. So we are going to...
For a good reason, because you lost. That's why you're in the minority. So get over it. You're either in with us or you're against us. Step into the light. Let's check your book to see if you've been honest this whole time. All right, we're wrapping it up right now. This is episode 2. We're going to be episode 3 coming up. Like and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, all right? Let's do it.
Send off a request for certain documents as we are approaching our next Doge hearing. Our next Doge hearing is going to be on USAID at the beginning of March. And so we're going to see if they turn over these requests that are made by us as sitting members of the committee.
All right, so we're signing off right now. We don't want to hear what she's talking about. We're done with her. You know that game? That was Resident Evil 2. All right. Signing off.
All right, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, we appreciate